10 tips to make it last longer. And fellas, trust me, the ladies are going to appreciate me for this one. What's up, YouTube? My name is Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy here on YouTube. I talk about fragrances, I talk about fashion as well, and we're getting into some lifestyle stuff as well. So if you love looking good and smelling great, consider subscribing to the channel, and also make sure that you, boom, hit that bell icon as well. That way you get notified when I upload new content on the channel. So guys, you see the title. Today I'm talking about 10 tips to make your fragrance, that is, last longer. On one hand, I understand the whole idea of being able to take a fragrance with you and just reapplying if it doesn't perform that well. And by that same token, I do understand folks that when they invest their money into a fragrance, they want it to last for, as long as it can. And so on today's list, I'm going to be giving you 10 tips or recommendations or things that you can do to ensure that your fragrance lasts a long time. Fellas, I always tell you this, man, the ladies love a guy that smells good. And the longer that you can smell good, the longer your fragrance lasts, the better. So if you want to see what 10 tips I have for you today on how you can make your fragrance last longer, then you guys know the routine, man. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to go ahead and jump right into these 10 tips that you can do to make your fragrance last longer. Right before I do that, guys, I want to remind you, if you have not picked up the 2 fragrances that I did in collaboration with Novelties Parfums, which is this one, Serenade, and also what is now called Lyric, formerly known as Obad, but it is absolutely the same fragrance. Make sure you head on over to noveltiesparfums.com and pick up these 2 fragrances. Honestly, both of the scents are absolutely amazing fragrances, and I really want you guys to get a chance to smell these before they are sold out. So guys, I will link it down below where you can do so. If you have not put your nose on these fragrances yet, head on over to noveltiesparfums.com and pick up Serenade or either Obad, which is now known as Lyric. All right, guys, now first up on this list of 10 things or 10 tips or things that you can do to make your fragrance last longer, apply your fragrance after a shower. That's right, guys, applying a fragrance after a shower is the perfect time, of course, to apply the fragrance, because at this point in time, your skin and body temperature is a little bit warmer and elevated. And just like when it's hot outside, fragrances are kind of like the deodorant degree. Your body heat really turns it on. Man, I had to say it. So applying your fragrance after you've gotten out of the shower is the perfect time to do it. I would hope that you would do that anyway, because I like to be clean, of course, when I apply fresh fragrance. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. When you apply a fragrance when your body temperature is elevated, when it's a little bit warmer, it is the perfect time for your body heat to really kind of help activate that fragrance and help it to project. So my first tip is make sure that you are applying your fragrance after a shower. All right, guys, the second tip that I want to give you on how you can make your fragrance last longer is apply a moisturizer after you shower. I don't know what happens. Some guys, I don't know, they don't think that it's a masculine thing to moisturize your skin, and that is a lie. Guys, make sure that you're moisturizing your skin, preferably with a non-scented or a very lightly scented lotion. I like to do that because, again, I don't like for the lotion or moisturizer to mix with the fragrance. So I like to wear a very light scented or a non-scented lotion, but the lotion kind of serves in some way as a glue, if you will, to kind of make sure or help the fragrance to stick a little bit better. So applying a non-scented lotion or moisturizer is my second tip that you can do to help make your fragrance last longer. Now, this third tip is one that I really love to talk about because it's one that doesn't get mentioned as much as some of the other tips that you may hear on this list. But my third tip is use the body spray in conjunction with the actual fragrance. I love Tom Ford fragrances because Tom Ford is really good about having the corresponding body spray and body lotion, etc., to go with the fragrances. And when you spray, I like to spray my clothes a little bit. I know I spray my body, but I also like to spray a little bit on my clothes with the body spray because, again, when I apply the fragrance to my pulse points, well, it helps to really, again, the fragrance to enhance it and kind of help it stick around longer. So, guys, if you get those body sprays that come with the fragrance, make sure you use those body sprays because, again, they're really going to help that fragrance stick around a little bit longer. And speaking of pulse points, that's bringing me to my fourth point. Make sure you're applying your fragrances to your pulse points, guys. Just like when I talked about having your body temperature elevated when you get out of the shower, your pulse points are the warmer parts of your body. So applying the fragrance to those, again, those warmer parts of your body, that body heat helps to really activate the fragrance. So that is the fourth tip. Make sure that you apply your fragrance to your pulse point. Now, the fifth tip that I'm going to give you kind of goes along with another tip that I gave you earlier when I talked about applying some type of body moisturizer or lotion after getting out of the shower. But this is just another little tip to help take that to the next level. Guys, another thing that you can do is apply a little bit of Vaseline to your pulse points where you're going to apply the fragrance, because that kind of takes that whole idea of the fragrance sticking around a little bit longer. It takes that to the next level. Traditionally speaking, Vaseline is a little bit thicker than most body lotions or body moisturizers. So again, that Vaseline, and it's unscented, it really helps to help the fragrance stick to your skin. So that is my fifth tip of the day. Apply a little bit of Vaseline to your pulse points, and that also will help that fragrance kind of stick around longer on your skin. The number 6 tip that I want to give you guys, and this one absolutely killed me when I see people do this. I'm going to show you. People will take their fragrance, they'll spray it, and then they'll do this. Oh my God, that drives me absolutely insane when people rub the fragrance in. Guys, I don't know where you got that from. Do not rub the fragrance in. Rubbing the fragrance in kills the top notes in the fragrance, okay? It actually kills the top notes. It kills the molecules in the fragrance. So please, 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 please share this video to everybody in the world that wears fragrance. Do not spray the fragrance and rub it into your skin. You might as well have bought this fragrance without any of the top notes in it. All right, now the next tip that I want to give you guys is to use a fragrance like Molecule 01. Using Molecule 01, which of course is ISO E Super, it is going to enhance the fragrance that you're wearing. Now again, Molecule 01 ISO is basically ISO E Super, and it really helps to kind of elevate and enhance the notes of whatever the fragrance is that you are going to wear. So that ISO E Super is really going to help that fragrance to last, and it's going to help that fragrance to project better. So that's my 7th tip. Wear Molecule 01 for fragrances that you usually would have a little bit of issue with in the performance category. All right, guys, so the next tip to help your fragrance last longer is to store the fragrance properly. All right. I know that, you guys have probably been guilty of this, because I was definitely guilty of this back in the day. And it didn't matter quite as much because usually we only had a handful of fragrances, so we ran through them quicker. But store the fragrance properly, guys, out of direct sunlight. All right. You don't want to store your fragrances in anywhere that's going to be exposed to a lot of direct sunlight. That absolutely destroys the molecules in the fragrance, and the fragrance will go bad a lot sooner if you store it in direct sunlight. Also, you don't want to keep your fragrance in a humid place. That humidity, just like the heat, is going to do the same thing. It's going to break down the molecule of that fragrance, and the fragrance is going to go bad a lot quicker than it would normally. So you want to store your fragrances in a place that is cool. So you hear people sometimes talk about storing fragrances in a cooler. I don't go that far, but I do keep my fragrances in my closet upstairs, which is really at the back of my house. There's no windows in that room, and it's usually a lot cooler in my closet area. And we keep the lights off most of the time, so that's the perfect kind of place to store your fragrances where they're not getting any sunlight and they're not getting any humidity that's getting to those fragrances. Now you can even take that a step further and store your fragrances in the original box that they came in, but just those small tips on how to store your fragrance can really improve the quality of your fragrance and again, make it last longer. Now the ninth tip that I want to give you guys is to spray your clothes. Now I know some folks are not a fan of spraying your clothes, but I am definitely a fan of spraying your clothes because again, anybody that wears fragrances will tell you when you spray your clothes, the fragrance is going to adhere to your clothes a lot better than they will your skin. Now I will caution you to be careful with heavier, darker fragrances like fragrances with amber, oud, and things of that nature that may be a darker hue because sometimes those kind of fragrances can stain your clothes. But outside of that, especially in the spring, and some of those lighter fragrances that are clear in color and typically compared to a darker, heavier scent don't last long anyway, definitely spray your clothes because that definitely helps the fragrance to last longer during the course of the day. And last but not least, another thing that people do that really gets under my skin when I see them do this, and again, I don't know where this one came from either. Don't spray the fragrance in the air and walk through it. I mean, you might as well just use some air freshener, man. I mean, like, that is the craziest thing that I've ever seen. I don't know where that came from, but spraying your fragrance in there and walking through it, you might as well not really put the fragrance on, honestly, because not a lot of the fragrance is going to actually get on your body or on your clothes when you spray it in the air. As a matter of fact, I've been having some voice challenges lately, so let my guy 2 Chainz. You guys know I like to use 2 Chainz on these videos. Let 2 Chainz tell you how I feel about when people spray a fragrance in the air and walk through it.
Is that your applying technique?
I don't know. It's just fucking. How do you put cologne on?
Some dudes they spray and walk in.
I want that shit on me. I don't understand why you would spray something in the fucking air. No, I don't understand why.
Need I say more? So the last tip is, guys, don't spray the fragrance in the air and walk through it. You're really just wasting your fragrance. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today as I gave you 10 tips on how you can make your fragrance last longer. As always, I sincerely appreciate your time and your attention to these videos. You don't have to watch what you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. Now, don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining, because I'm your guy, Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.